Hey everyone, it's Vritzien. So, RTX at Home just happened, and with it comes the teaser for Volume 9. Initially I didn't plan on covering it on this channel, as I was at my day job when it first dropped, and React content isn't exactly my forte, but holy shit, I need to talk about it. To start, I think this is a phenomenal teaser, with the cinematography being the MVP of it for me. Showing the finale up to Rwby falling directly from her perspective fantastically shows how traumatizing it was for her, an aspect of it that I thought was poorly conveyed in Volume 8. There are also other parts of it that I love, from the beautiful set pieces, Neo changing into the people that Rwby cares about as she tries to kill her, though how she knew Oscar and Rwby were close, I have no idea, but I digress, to Lindsay's incredible voice acting here. However, these things are only tangential to what I actually wanted to discuss here. The thing I wanted to focus on here is Rwby herself and what this teaser implies for Volume 9 as a whole. Given the context of what's shown in the teaser, and knowing how Rooster Teeth's production pipeline has been the past couple volumes, this scene is likely cut from the first episode of Volume 9. Either the first, or one of the first scenes in it, with my money being on the former. As I mentioned in my From a Writer's Perspective analysis of Volume 8, that is linked in the description and on the iCard, the beginning is one of, if not the most important parts of your story. However, I didn't explain exactly why that is. The beginning of a story is like meeting a new person. It's your audience's first impression of it, and as novelist and short story writer Cynthia Ozek once said, two things are irretrievable: time and a first impression. Ideally then, a good opening should be emblematic of what is to follow for the rest of the season, to some degree. Volume 8's opening was an allusion to Cinder's backstory, showing the audience Cinder's importance in this volume, which was demonstrated to be true. Why does that matter here? Well, that's because my first impression of Volume 9 from this teaser is that this is going to be Rwby's volume. And if that's true, hallelujah. One of my biggest issues with the show as a whole is the constant sidelighting of Rwby's character development for the sake of giving it to the side characters. John. She, more or less, is the exact same passive embodiment of purity that she's been since the beginning of the series. In a vacuum, that's not necessarily a bad thing. That's what is known as a flat character arc. But for Rwby, it just doesn't really work. I won't go into detail why here, as I'm already on a tangent from the point of this video, but if you do want to hear why I believe that, be sure to subscribe and follow my From a Writer's Perspective series on Volume 8. Once I finish going over the plot of Volume 8, I'm going to go through all the characters and explain my thoughts on them, especially why I think Rwby's a bad protagonist. Circling back to my point though, if my impression is correct, then Volume 9 has a chance to be one of the best volumes thus far, which makes me kind of excited for it to come out. However, I was also excited for every other volume after I saw their trailers. Ever since Volume 6, the volumes have consistently had fairly strong beginnings, only to fall flat on their faces during the second half. For Volume 6, this is when they made it to Argus. For Volume 7, it was after the election, and for Volume 8, it was after the Hound was killed. I understand it's not fair to condemn Volume 9 for the mistakes of the previous volumes, but that happening once is an anomaly, twice is a coincidence, but 3 times is a pattern. What was the definition of insanity again? Doing the exact same thing over and over again, expecting a different result? So this time I'm doing something different. I'm not going to hype up Volume 9 or be super excited for it. I'm just going to wait for it to come out and see where it goes. If Volume 9 does develop Rwby and sticks the landing, then I can be pleasantly surprised. If not, then at least I won't be disappointed. Anyways, that's all I had to say about this teaser. If you like this video and want to see more like it in the future, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. If you're feeling extra generous, however, please consider joining my Patreon, which will also be linked in the description below. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.